meandering off under the bridge to sleep tonight and die out in the cold maybe. I mean, that's it. That's a fire under your butt. That's the incentive to keep you paying those exorbitant rents and mortgages. Well, if you don't do it, you see that there's no welfare left. You could become a criminal, yeah, so go commit a crime so you could be safely ensconced behind bars with three hots and a cot at a cost of $100,000 a year approximately to the taxpayers to keep you in jail. You could do that. You have your options. You're free. You're free. It's a rigged game, and people are just going out slowly through attrition, right? So we're playing this big long game. That's what they want you to believe, and only the strong survive. And the strong equates to the richest, right? Who's got, it's like Monopoly. Who's at the end of the day got the money that can survive the game. But otherwise, you're all going out slowly but surely. You're all going out of this game of financial security. No, no, get that out of your head. Do they teach you the stuff I'm teaching you in school? No, you're not getting this. You're not getting this. Even though teachers, they say, are getting enough, but I think they're getting a lot better than a lot of people. They've got a union at least, and they demand their share of fairness. So while we make jokes about them being underpaid, relative to what? I mean, there's plenty of people in the private sector we know making 50, 60, 70, 80, 100, a couple $100,000 out there, and the actors and comedians and the rappers, and we know the athletes, and there's so many other people and so many other occupations, right, that make good money. The doctors and the lawyers we hear about, and this and that, and the next thing, right? Stockbrokers and this and that, and the next thing, right? We know, but they're certain cliques. There's certain. It's not everybody, right? It's not everybody. We know there's huge swaths of people because of their job title, their job description. Well, you don't have the education it needs to indicate. Well, if everybody's educated, then we're all going to be well paid. Well, then who's going to do those jobs currently that somebody on a minimum wage job or close thereabout is going to do, right? Those jobs still need to get done, right, for the well-being of society. To keep the wheels of society turning, these jobs are imperative. For example, one farm worker, one factory worker, to me, is worth more than all the politicians put together, Democrats and Republicans. And they're all multimillionaires, so by default, most of them, look into it, Democrats and Republicans, Congress, Senate, executive, multimillionaires many times over. By default position, they're out of touch with the regular people. So are you out of touch? Do you not care about regular people out there? Just regular people making minimum wage or close thereabouts because of their job description, their job title. They're worthy, that they deserve to be cheated and subjugated and stolen from. They're the ones that are forced to pay the $30 trillion national debt. That's the way it is now, with cost of living inflation and currency debasement. That's the way it is now. And it's sick and it's horrible. And God, without God's help, friends, I mean, it's just going to continue to deteriorate. I'm going to get more and more miserable. You are too. We all are. As long as your brothers and sisters are suffering needlessly, sometimes dying out in the cold, better men and women than us. Have you met them all? I haven't met them all. That are too timid and too nonviolent to commit a crime. They don't want to be in trouble. They're not troublemakers. They're trying to be peacemakers. We can only be one or the other in life. It's a decision we make to be peacemakers or troublemakers. And a lot of these homeless people, desperately poor, they're not troublemakers. That's why they're not in jail. They don't want you to have to pay $100,000 a year for them, but look what we're paying now. How much are we willing to pay to keep people off the streets? We're subsidizing housing costs for poor people to the tune of $50 billion a year. And all it's done is made the problem worse. It's an utterly failed welfare program, but will we admit it as a society? It's all going in the pockets of fat cats and made the problem far worse. The problem being there's not affordable housing sufficient for everybody to be able to get ahead. We're not playing the game fairly, and people are perishing. And you think you're delusional. If you really think you're happy, You're out there. You're diluting. You understand? You're in la la land. You're blocking out the truth. Your God is a liar. He's a false God. He's a satanic God, a God of money. You understand? He's an anti-true God. So that's where your happiness is derived from right now. You're delusional. You're deluded. It's the only way. You're self-deceived. You're duped. You can't enjoy your prosperity. Your conscience won't allow you. It's a failsafe. Sorry. What, I'm going to apologize because God gave you a conscience? Because God created you? Gave you life, everything good you'll ever experience? Your brain? Count how many times a day you use it. Count it. How many times a day you use your brain, take advantage of it. And you think you own yourself? Can you save your life? No, neither can I. I can't save my own life or anybody else's. Nobody can. Only God can. And the best part is a life worth living in a paradise that gets better and better and better. That's it. Freedom. That's it. We're there. We've arrived when we're all free, universally free. That's the only time we can have arrived. Because for now, it's just sucky, my friends. It's just sucky, and God, I want the worm to turn, and God, God, the evil men do not want the worm to turn. They don't, but they know, because it can't get much worse than this. I can't blame Biden completely, but of course Biden's part of it. The Pelosi's and the Republicans, the Republicans, they're no better. The vast majority, very few exceptions. They're all in on it, colluding against the best interest of the American people. The Federal Reserve, the money printing class, the uber wealthy that turn their head, hey, you know what, I'm rich. I like Cardi B. She's a real lady of the people. Very few of these people are speaking out on behalf of the downtrodden because they're just overwhelmed. I can't. It just keeps getting worse. I don't know. It's going to take the return of Jesus. I don't know. Well, are you ready for the return of Jesus? Are you wanting it? Are you zealous for a world without any form of money? For a completely level playing field? Universal prosperity? You got no special privilege because of your wealth? You ready for that? All of you out there? Well, that's what we need to get ready for. Because that day is coming. And nothing's going to stop it. It's coming. It's the hand of God moving forcefully upon this planet. It's going to change. If you say you can't imagine it, you're lying. You can. And remember, if we can imagine it, we can make it manifest. And who's stopping us? Unless we're being dishonest, it's us, individually and collectively, stopping the scenario where we're all free. And we must be financially free to be completely free. Are we? Far from it. Even if you are, look how many of your brothers and sisters aren't. Be honest. That's all I'm asking. Be honest. All right, friends, I'm on to some recent current events and other talking points real quick, and then I got to go. Hey, Queen Elizabeth II, very nice lady. You rate high in my book if you're just a nice human being. And like I always say, you could be elite, but you don't have to be elitist. You could be wealthy, but you don't have to be a snob. Okay, but people that say, oh, so-and-so's going to leave all their money to charity. What charities? I wrote the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation once to try to get some affordable housing, get the help with homelessness. And no, they're not. That's not their kind of charity. So what are we talking about? Charity. I'm giving it all to the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. So, But no, they love the Queen. And look, you got to admire that. 70 years, quite a woman, really a very nice lady, from what I could tell. Born to be queen. And she's got nice grandsons, and it's a nice family. I think they're nice people. Best of luck to King Charles the second or the third, I guess. She was Queen Elizabeth II, I guess. But nice family. Princess Diana. Now, she was my favorite of them all. But, I'm sad. I'm sorry for you guys. And Prince Charles, don't feel too bad. I lost my mom when I was 21. My dad's mom died in childbirth. I never got to meet her when he was 8 years old. And I only knew my mom's mom, my grandma on the maternal side, when I was a baby. So, yeah, so it's tough losing your mom. Nothing like losing your mom, brother. But, yeah, King Charles, and we'll see, what happens here. But it's going to be hard. That's a hard act to follow, Queen Elizabeth. It sucks, you know. At 95, yeah, I guess she had a pretty good run, but 100 would have been better, right? 120, that's what I'm shooting for. You see, I believe we should all be living as royalty. That's how our owner, God Almighty,